All right, let's do this. Press start. Oh, new game. What's up, guys? You can call me Rizzo, and today we're gonna get into some Tokyo Xtreme Racer 3. This is actually one of my favorite racing games, especially on the PlayStation 2 platforms. I mean, everybody loves the Gran Turismo series, but this is definitely one of those overlooked ones as far as racing in general goes. We'll get to it. Oh yeah, before I move on, I do want to give a big shout out to my boy Peter for this awesome tuna no crust shirt. Thanks, Pete. And as any other racing games, you do start off, as far as your quest goes, with car shopping. You know, you start off with a handful of manufacturers here. You do only have a few cars to start off with, as far as what you can choose, and I guess you can base your strategy from here on in. I'm gonna kind of go a little bit towards my own personal history with cars as far as my quest goes. I'm gonna kind of follow what I've owned, but at the same time kind of go with a couple of other personal favorites of mine. In this case, we're gonna start off with everybody's favorite, or at some point everybody's top 5 cars, the AE86, the Panda Trueno. Let's see. We'll keep the black and white going here, and now we get to register your car. Man, let's see if I can remember this one. No. I'm gonna kind of do this. I think that's the correct one. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that's the one for Gunma. No, I don't want 5. I'll do 500. There we go. Now I don't know which one to choose for this one, but we will go with 601 as our license for our registration, and we're gonna start off at Tokyo. And with the price of the car, we are left with about 25,000 Dara or whatever kind of CP points or whatever. So we're gonna just blow it all off. We're gonna go to the tuning shop and we're gonna upgrade everything. Let's go with a level 1. What that actually included was just exhaust tuning. Yeah. Let's do a muffler. Of course, everybody's favorite first mod, right? Level 1 cooling. Get this, I'm gonna spend 430 for a radiator cap. Cool, awesome, yeah. I figured that would have at least bought me a brand new radiator IRL. Powertrain, transmission, just the high durability transmission. What you'll see, and as we play along, you'll actually see a lot of these things affects how your car performs in the long run, as far as, you know, when you're racing and whatnot. Let's do upgrade the clutch here. Let's upgrade the suspension. Sure. What are we gonna do? This lets you adjust alignment. Okay, cool. And brakes. This just pretty much gives you new brake fluid. Cool. 1400. And the wheel shop. Yeah, alright. Remember 5 Zegan wheels? Oh man. Or wheels. Yokohama Advents. Everybody's favorite 3-spoke wheels, or the double 3-spoke. Nah, let's go with something a little bit more on the conservative side. Your traditional 5-spoke, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, let's buy that. And let's put it on the car. Let's completely destroy the dynamics of this car. Let's go +1 up top. 2 in the back, stagger the fuck out of it. Let's get some high grip tires. Yeah. We're gonna need those. Alright, let's see. Is there anything else we can do? There's a couple other things as far as body mods. You could either reinforce or lighten your vehicle, but that's kind of later on. Let's see, arrow, we did some bumper hoods. We're gonna keep her stock for the time being. I'm gonna make sure she's on the sleeper end. But what I'm gonna do is actually change that, put that over there. Cool. And you think we'd be set? Let's just set her up a little bit. There's other settings you could change here and there. I'm not gonna dabble with much of these. I mean, it's not like I could go to my garage and change my ratios on the fly in real life. So if anything, if I'm gonna modify anything, I'll probably just do a final drive of what's compatible that's out in real life. But other than that, I'm just gonna not do anything with that. Alignment, I'll probably you know, dabble here and there as far as what angles I'm gonna run, or what angles I'm gonna want to run based on how she drives. I'll probably do that kind of off cam as well. Suspension, same thing with this. I mean, it's really hard to translate like a 3-way adjustable, you know, sway bar, and you know, it's like 15 different settings here, but we'll do the best we can based on how she drives along the way. But I will adjust these. Ah, jeez. And she's set. Yeah, going back into it, yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite titles ever, if anything. I mean, if just to prove it, I do still have it. See, just everything. It's one of the games, one of the handful of games I held on to when I got rid of much of my PlayStation 2 collection. I mean, it's I've taken great care of everything, so as you can see, it still works. We're gonna start off on the C1 inner loop as well. No shift assist, because you know, apparently to a majority of people that's for pussies, but hey, coming from somebody like me, I've grown to, I guess, as I got older, appreciate what an automatic can do for you. Traffic. Alright, so if you've ever watched any old school like option or top or hot version videos, option 2 videos, you've probably seen a lot of, or even just like Japanese racing documentaries, you'll definitely see a lot of these roads. You'll see a lot of you know, the C1 being referenced, you know, the Wangen as well, and you'll see a lot of that in this game, which is why I really like this game as well. And it's based off of like a dueling, or you know, not essentially racing, but it's got a lot of pretty nifty aspects to it. You do have to initiate the races by flashing them, and when you do that, you will end up blinding. What you'll end up seeing at the top of the screen is you'll have it's like your life meter, your SP bar, and it's essentially it. It's your life meter. The more time you are ahead of your opponent's bar will decrease. But there's also another twist to it, where if you do make contact with essentially anything, yours will decrease as well. So, sorry, I'm driving. So as you could actually still lose a race by being in front, just slamming into like a guardrail, which is a twist into the whole thing, and that'll actually play into your strategies in the long run. Catching up really quick. You're gonna have some opponents that are just really frustrating as well. They'll try to just run you off the road, just from the start of the race, or just not decide where they want to go and just draw the race out. Also, those buses too, you could use them in your strategy. You could box out your opponents, and that's really how you win races. You just stay ahead of them long enough, or just survive long enough. Oh, survive long enough for them to lose all their CP bar. There are a lot of things you also have to pay attention to. On the bottom left here, you do have water temps and oil temps. If they get too high, they will affect your car as far as the durability and your the way your car will accelerate. And same thing with the tires. You'll definitely feel them go off the more races you do. All right, let's move on to the next guy. Coming up on the next guy. Okay. That's 14. Going back to like my whole personal history with cars, I didn't necessarily have, or I didn't specifically have the 8.6. I did have a Corolla handed down to me, which she was a trooper. I had an 8E92. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But that was literally the 90s shitbox grocery getter Corolla. But I mean, she was a trooper. She was in the family for essentially close to 20 years before anything happened to her, and it's one of those things where if I could get another one in that same shape, I probably would. Did I modify her? Yeah, I did. You know, I mean, shit. At that time, that's when a lot of people were really getting into car tuning per se. I mean, I got into the tuning scene mid to late 90s. I randomly just caught a sport compact car magazine caught my eye. I believe it was like 96 or 97, where 10 out of the 12 issues they had like yellow Japanese cars, yellow Hondas, yellow Integras, and I think a VR4 3000 GT or something. And that's really how I got into it, kind of just accidentally as I was cruising through the magazine aisle. I don't remember what I was looking for exactly, but it caught my eye. I mean, it's one of those things where that era was kind of pretty wild. They had that one issue where they had the chop top EK drag hatch. I think that was in 97. I mean, that was just a weird, crazy era for cartooning in general. I mean, we had really crazy, really crazy out there body kits, huge bullfrog nose hoods on every Honda imaginable. I mean, it was just as gaudy as you could get. But it's what we thought was cool at the time. I mean, should we go with it, right? You know, just clean JDM really wasn't like really that big or prevalent at the time, until maybe late 90s into the new millennium, probably. It's like the Super Street era. God damn it. You're killing me here. Killing me. There are also ways to kind of set yourself up how to like line up against your opponent. If you're going fast enough, you'll end up speeding past them if you flash them quick enough or at the correct time, so you end up lining up ahead of them, which depending on which crew you're racing, that will really play into your favor. Again, you'll have cars that'll just from the get-go try to pit maneuver the fuck out of your car, and that gets really annoying. Oh no. I'll try to get all the information out I'll try not to overload it, but you know, I'll try to go through as far as much of the game aspects pretty early on, so just, you know, everybody could kind of get what's going on and what's happening. As far as unlocking cars go, you pretty much will unlock cars um, when you win against a whole crew. Like this, the first race I ran were against other 8.6s, but obviously they're already unlocked. But you'll see as we go on, as we progress, there'll be other types of vehicles that, you know, aren't available yet, and as long as you beat the boss of that crew per se, you know, that car will be available for unlock. And there's also another couple of other ways to unlock things parts wise. It's also the most tedious of it all is you do have mileage unlocks where, you know, depending on, you know, you get certain amount of, or you unlock certain parts depending on the miles you've driven on a per car basis. So say if you needed like 1,500 miles or on your odometer or whatever, however this reads in kilometers, if you need 1,500 to unlock that certain part, you need it for every car. I believe it's every car across the board to do so, which, I mean, that does get very tedious, and I'm definitely not going to do that here. I'm probably going to just do that during my off time, or I'll stream it, do stream quests or something or the other. Oh no. Yeah, thank you, bus. See what I mean? Like, they could come in very handy, especially with a lot of the faster vehicles you'll come across. I mean, you'll obviously buy more vehicles along the way, but, you know, as you modify yours, you're definitely going to lose or draw a lot of races here and there. So you kind of want to use them into your advantage, or just, you know, have them play it into your strategy. Cool. Alright. Alright, I already feel my tires kind of going, and my car's kind of getting a bit sluggish as far as like acceleration wise. It's really hard to tell, but I mean, my temperatures are going up as well. So what I'm gonna do is go back to the garage, and this is where it kind of gives you your stats when you go back, and it'll actually show on the right side as well if you've had, you know, new cars, if you unlock new cars or parts, which is pretty nifty. So far my name is Broad Daylight Newcomer. They come up with really strange names in this game as well, so it's gonna be interesting. We brought ourselves up to 11 grand. I believe we could still do a level 2 engine upgrade, which we'll do. That's pretty much it. I mean, that's how it goes, and that's Tokyo Xtreme Racer 3.